Welcome back to this channel for practice problems for actuarial exams. My name is Krzysztof Ostaszewski. You can find information about me at smarturl.it/Jedi. I direct the actuarial program at Illinois State University. You can find information about it at smarturl.it/actuary. If you would like to make a tax-deductible donation to support our students, please go to smarturl.it/help ISU actuary. This is a practice problem for exam FM. I posted it before as a PDF file in 2005. You are the investment actuary for the Marvelous Life Insurance Company. On January 1st, 2005, your company purchased a bond issued by the Divided Airlines with maturity date of December 31, 2010. The maturity and par value of the bond is $1 million, and the bond pays an annual coupon of 6%. Your company purchased this bond at the yield of 5.5% to maturity. However, you realize now that the bond may be called at a premium of 10% over par on January 1st, 2008, and at a premium of 5% over par on January 1st, 2009, or January 1st, 2010. The market yield of this bond will remain constant through maturity. Consider the following possible outcomes. You can sell the bond any time between January 1st, 2005 and December 31, 2010 if it has not been called for the market price. You can hold the bond until maturity if it's not called. The bond may be called. Among these alternatives, which specific outcome, if the bond is called, what exact date of the call and at what price, produces the highest yield for your company, and which one produces the lowest yield? Consider the timeline of this bond's cash flow. So what you see here is cash flows for a bond that is not called. The cash flows are $60,000 on January 1st, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, and then the return of $1 million plus $60,000 on December 31, 2010, at the end of 2010. And the bond is callable at 110% of par on January 1st, 2008, and at 105% of par on January 1st, 2009 and 2010. The price at which the bond was purchased is 60,000 angle 6 at 5.5% plus $1 million discounted over 6 years at 5.5%. That's the standard franc formula for the price of a bond, and that's 1,024,977.65. If you're doing this in BA2 Plus Pro, you enter the future value, the redemption value of $1 million, and the 6 payment is 60,000. IY is 5.5, compute present value. The result is negative because the 60,000 payment is treated as a loan payment. As the market yield does not change till maturity, either holding the bond till maturity or selling it, if it's not called, will produce the yield of 5.5%. Of course, if the bond is called, you may get a different yield because it's not called at the price that would necessarily produce the market yield. So if the bond is called on January 1st, 2008, the investor will receive coupons of 60,000 on December 31, 2005, 2006, and 2007, as well as the call price of $1,100,000, and the resulting yield will be the solution of the equation that the price paid, which is $1,024,977.65, is paid for with those coupon payments of 60,000 over 3 years, plus $1,100,000 call price paid in 3 years. We enter that 102,497.65 as negative as the present value payment of 60,000, future value of $1,100,000, n equal to 3, and compute IY in BA2 Plus Pro, and get j equal to 8.1061. So let's look at these yields. The coupon rate is 6%, yield to maturity is 5.5, and yield to call on January 1st, 2008 is 8.1061%. These correspond to bond par value of $1 million, bond price of $1,024,977.65, and call exercise price of $1,100,000. If the market yield were at 6%, the bond would trade at par, but the market yield is 5.5, so that the bonds higher than 5.5% coupon of 6% causes it to trade at a premium of 24,977.65. It would seem, therefore, that the issuer would find it advantageous to call the bond as early as possible. That would be the case if the call exercise price were par, but instead the call exercise price is $1,100,000, so it's over par and over that price that was paid for the bond. It's pretty high. Also note that between January 1st, 2005 and January 1st, 2008, the bond's premium would be gradually amortized, and in fact the price as of January 1st, 2008 at the yield of 5.5% would be calculated as, well, the remaining price of the price of the remaining 3 coupons plus a redemption value of $1 million, so $1,013,489.67. So calling this bond, selling for this price at the call exercise price of $1,100,000 would be clearly disadvantageous to the issuer and very advantageous to the investor, resulting to the investor in a high total return rate of 8.1061%. As of January 1st, 2009, this bond can be called at the call exercise price of $1,050,000. If it's called immediately that day, the return to the investor is the solution of the equation of the price paid equals the present value of the coupons plus present value of that call price. And again, if we use BA2 Plus Pro, we enter the price as negative, coupons, payments is positive, future value positive, n equals 4, compute IY, and we get 6.4085%. Now, note that we know that this yield has to be lower than the previous one, as of January 1st, 2008, if the bond were called then, as the investor gains $60,000 in one extra coupon but loses $50,000 in the call exercise price, and the net $10,000 is less than income that the previous call exercise value of $1,100,000 would earn in 2008 under any of the interest rates considered. It is also observed that the price based on the yield to maturity of 5.5% as of January 1st, 2009 is $1,009,231.60. So we see that the premium is further reduced and the call is disadvantageous to the issuer, as the issuer would have to pay $1,050,000 for a bond with cash flows to maturity worth $1,009,231.60. Note, however, that while the bond premium has declined, the call premium has declined more, and the relative on the call premium, meaning the premium in the price at which the bond is called versus the maturity value, as the redemption value. So it was $100,000 before, now it's $50,000. And the relative disadvantage to the issuer is less. The relative advantage to the investor is also less, as the yield to call has declined from 8.1061% to 6.4085%. If the bond is called on January 1st, 2010, the latest possible call date, the rate of return is the solution of the equation as before. The price paid equals all the coupons collected plus the payment of the call price, or price at which the bond is called. And we solve it in BA2 Plus Pro and we get 6.2844%. Now, of course, you can use another calculator. I just use this one as an example. We also know that a call at any later date would result in lower yield to the investor as the bond's yield to maturity is unchanged, but the $1,050,000 cash flow would arrive later. Note also that the price based on the yield to maturity of 5.5% is $1,004,739.34. This clearly shows that calling this bond for $1,050,000 is even more disadvantageous to the issuer. So we conclude that the earliest possible call on January 1st, 2008 is the most advantageous to the investor and the least advantageous to the issuer, resulting in the yield of 8.1061% to the investor. On the other hand, waiting till maturity of December 31, 2010 is the most advantageous course of action for the issuer and the least advantageous to the investor, resulting in the yield of 5.5% to the investor. Please remember this is copyrighted material. All rights are reserved. Or a production in whole or in part without express written permission from the author is strictly prohibited. Good luck in your studies and good luck on the test.